Alright guys, so here is the second of the Moon Knight versus stories, and this one is Moon Knight versus Black Panther. So Moon Knight versus Black Panther, I thought of this idea along with the Moon Knight versus X-Men story. Basically, it was conjured up after watching the first episode of Moon Knight over on Disney Plus, and essentially what this story is it's a story set after the events of the Moon Knight story arc in the Khonshu story arc in Jason Aaron's Avengers story. So, Moon Knight and Black Panther are not on good terms right now after what he did to the Avengers. So this story starts in Wakanda, and essentially what has happened is that a religious sect of Khonshu's of followers of Khonshu in Wakanda have apparently attacked a place of worship for Bast, and there are other because we don't really get to talk about a lot of the religious if there's other religions in Wakanda. At least I don't think we have in Black Panther comics. But essentially, what this is that it's kind of sent shockwaves throughout Wakanda that another religious group has attacked, basically a worship place of Bast, and the group that is worshiping Khonshu is kind of seen as a cult to begin with, and they're saying no, we didn't do that. That wasn't us. But yeah, that's that they're basically saying that wasn't us. We didn't do it. But there's already tension, and the Wakandans who worship Bast are we're gonna persecute you. We're going to snuff out anything of Khonshu in here. They go to 11 instantly because they're already kind of pissed off about what Moon Knight did with the Moon Knight cult did in Avengers. So they're already we're gonna shut this shit down before it happens again. Now Khonshu, of course, this does not go unnoticed by Khonshu, and he basically goes right to Mark going, you gotta get to Wakanda right now, we got followers there that need help. So Moon Knight is alright. So he sneaks into Wakanda, and it's not an easy task. One does not simply sneak into Wakanda. He has to fight his way through guards, he has to fight his way through Dora Milaje, until eventually he runs into T'Challa himself. And T'Challa is I knew, you didn't think I was not preparing to see you, Mark Spector? He was already planning contingencies for Moon Knight showing up in Wakanda, because he was yeah, I knew the moment anything to do with Khonshu was going to happen, you were going to show up. So he's already planned a cell for him, and got it. The two fight, Black Panther and Moon Knight fight, and Moon Knight at first is just give me my just let me get my followers, and I can go on my way. And T'Challa's no, they're standing for trial, and he's trial for what? And they're and he's trial for desecration of a religion. And Moon Knight's well, we don't do, our cult doesn't do, our followers don't do that. And he's oh, they don't, right? Yeah, they don't. They don't assault a team of other heroes that called them allies to a hero, and they don't, steal stuff, and don't have their god take over the planet, right? That never happens. And Mark, of course, Mark and T'Challa fight. And Moon Knight is yeah, I was kind of prepared to fight you, because he was already when he got into Wakanda, he was yeah, I already knew I was gonna have to fight this guy, so this is not gonna be fun. So he had his own contingencies and whatnot, to get through the vibranium suit that Black Panther wears. He has a adamantium set of knuckles that are inscribed with Egyptian magic. So when he goes to hit T'Challa, it disrupts the vibranium in his armor, because it's both adamantium and magic put together. The two fight, but eventually Black Panther gets the upper hand. He manages to lock him up, and Mark is already damn it, this is not right. And Black Panther's they'll be judged, and they'll probably be, sentenced to prison. Out of respect I am not going to put them to death like like the kings of old would for this desecration. And he's like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, Mark goes, that's nice. Religious persecution on another for no other reason other than shoddy evidence. I'm sure your people are very proud of themselves, building a utopia, and seems nice. Oh, you don't worship my god, you're dead. You seem I've seen that kind of before, right? And he's like, oh, don't play that card with me, man, because I've seen what the cult of Khonshu is capable of. Not just from what you did, but like from other stuff. So they're having so Moon Knight and Black Panther are having like this back and forth between their respective religions, and yeah. So it's a back and forth because basically, like, Mark points out that what Black Panther is doing is no different from what people from the rest of the world who they claim like they're better than does the same. They're doing the same thing, but Black Panther's like, yeah, no, you don't get to judge, man. You and your cult don't get to judge. So they have this back and forth. What they don't realize is that they've been kind of duped, because now the rest of the cult globally of Khonshu is like gathering to fight to raise Wakanda, and capturing the avatar of Khonshu kind of was like the tip of the iceberg. But essentially, what this is that both avatars of the respective Egyptian gods have been duped by another Egyptian god. That god was Set. Yeah, Set basically wanted to ignite a holy war between Khonshu and Bast. His other rival gods, mostly because fuck them gods. I want to be like, if he can start, like, basically what Set wants to do is start a war between Khonshu and Bast, and that will like suck in the other gods, and they'll just start killing each other, and Set will just swoop in and take over. That's his whole idea. That's his whole plan. So yeah, it's more or less Set wants to start a holy war, and the other thing was he had his own cult pretend to be the cult of the followers of Khonshu, to attack that, to start everything by attacking that place of worship and killing everyone inside. So yeah, there was a cult of Set who disguised themselves to do that. So long story short, Moon Knight and Black Panther do kind of realize, oh shit, we've been bamboozled, and quickly set things right, but they do not leave on nice terms. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Black Panther versus Moon Knight story. Just comment below, let me know what you guys think. Other than that, if you haven't already, hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon to get exclusive content, and if you hit the 4th tier, you too can send video requests for me to do here on YouTube. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.